What's up, guys? This is CaspeR here, and today I got a little game. I was playing for Exposed Sniping against Zyron, HQ Scrapyard, and I'd like to do a commentary for you. So, just to avoid some confusion, to give a little update, I left Arrow, and then started a clan for like 3 days, which failed epically, called Alien. I was Alien CaspeR. And then after that, I got into XGeN's YouTube team, so now I'm XGeN CaspeR, and I play for Exposed's competitive sniping team as of the moment, along with Mw2, who was like an original leader of the clan, and a couple other people, Reptar and Ruzo. They both play for us also. So today I've got a number of different things I'd like to talk about. A lot of different tips and points to cover, etc. And I realized today that the best way for me to tweak my own style is to simply go back and watch myself play. Because this video here that I have is about 19 minutes long. It was a 19-minute long game of Scrapyard HQ. It was going by really slowly in the beginning. I think it took off towards the second half a little bit more, and things started to speed up. But it was just painful in the beginning. It'd take each team like a few minutes just to get one cap. But in any case, like I was saying, I was watching through it to decide how I wanted to cut it up, because, you know, the video limit is 15 minutes. So I was deciding how I wanted to cut the video up. And just in watching myself play, in maybe like a 5-minute stretch, I was sitting there, like, realizing all the things that I did wrong. But in correcting that, I'm able to give you guys a lot of great tips. So, the first thing I'd like to talk about is you really, really need to play the objective above all else. Because on this game, the only people... excuse me, not the only people, but the only things that are played competitively are CTF, HQ, and Sabotage. And Sabotage rarely. Mostly HQ, and then second to that is CTF. And only second by a little, you know, a lot of CTF is played. It's probably close to that, like a half and half. But third to both of those is Sabotage. Nobody plays Team Deathmatch on this game. People play Team Deathmatch a lot on COD 4, competitive sniping, but not on this game. So you should never be focusing on your KD, ever, unless your team maybe tells you to, you know, get outside the objective and get some kills. And even in that case, you shouldn't really be focusing on your KD so much as just killing people. But, you know, your KD is going to go up for that. But the only time that you should be focused on your KD is never. Another thing I'd like to talk about... Well, anyway... Excuse me, let me just continue this first. With your KD and like lack of concern for it, your objective has to always be the priority. You want to always be focusing around HQ, around defending your own flag, or around defending your flag runner, or running the other team's flag. But another topic I'd like to talk about is playing defensively and offensively. That was another big thing that I realized today. Scrapyard is one of those maps where you really have to pick in between the two. And there you can see Proximity, aka Arrow Ruzo, just going off on some noobs. But in any case, Scrapyard, you really have to pick and choose between being an offensive player and a defensive player. There isn't a whole lot of middle ground in that scenario, because you have a lot of objects of cover, like barrels and the trucks and the dumpsters and that concrete wall that I'm shooting at now, and I got raped, that really allows players to be very defensive. So that's what a lot of people do, is they just camp those spots and play defensively. A lot of other players, in contrast, play the exact opposite. They're constantly moving around the map, going from cover to cover, you know, scaling the perimeter and stuff. And a lot of people are successful in that as well. But in order to be able to do that successfully, you need to know how to attack the really great camping spots. Namely, the first thing that comes to mind is the white truck. Now, people are always behind that. In every game, there's someone that is behind it a lot. Doesn't matter which team they're on. And, you know, in most cases, there's even multiple people that like to get behind it. And none of us can ever say that we've been in a clan match and have never used it at least once. It's just something that's there to use, and it's good to use, you know. If you're trying to play defensively, that's a spot that you want to really control during the game, because it allows you to see both sides of the map. You can even see down the middle, and it's pretty hard for them to attack because you can head glitch behind it fairly easily and have only a little portion of your body showing. And just due to the general inaccuracy of quickscoping in this game and the intervention, because of all the sway that you get at long range, which is a lot more than COD 4, it's hard to kill a head glitcher, even if you yourself are accurate. Like 9 times out of 10, you won't hit it the first shot, unless maybe you're using Marathon, because for some reason, the shots tend to be a little bit more accurate with that. But in any case, you need to know how to attack the white truck as well if you're trying to be an offensive scrapyard player. The easiest way to do that is just flank it constantly. Avoid running down large open spaces like through the flaming truck or to the left of the flaming truck, or running out of the openings of the warehouse buildings across from the white truck, because there's not a whole lot of cover in those areas, and the cover that is there is cover that you can shoot through, so it's generally not a smart option. You're gonna get killed most of the time. It's pretty dumb to do it frequently. So the best way to attack it is to go around the map, you know, go around the perimeter and try to get inside the warehouse that's closest to the white truck, the one behind it, because usually people have their backs to that, or their sides at least, you know. And if you get inside that, you can pop out and kill the white truck camper fairly easily. Now granted, he's probably going to be there a lot during the game and will most likely respawn and try to get there, but once someone on your team establishes control after he's dead, it's going to be really hard for him to take it unless he decides to use it with take the white truck with the same method that you used. Okay, but besides that, another thing that I'd like to talk about is patience. A lot of people don't tend to have a lot of patience in competitive sniping when it comes to waiting for the predictable movements of their enemies in a game, or their opponents, the players on the opposing team. Because if you really think about it, and I use that term lightly because you don't really have to think a lot, but most people play predictably, okay? They go to the same spots. A lot of players will run to the place where they got killed, or try to go to a place that gives them an advantageous position over the spot that they got killed, because they're expecting you to still be there. And you can really use things like that to your advantage. You know, if you're trying to defend an HQ, shift your spot around. Don't stay in the same spot. That's a stupid thing to do, because no matter how many people you kill, if you remain in the same spot or in the same general area of an HQ, they're going to tell their teammates, and they're going to see that themselves, and just focus all their effort into killing you and putting people around that one spot. It's going to be really hard to hold down the HQ, so always be switching your spot around. That's a really, really important thing to do. Other than that, I'd say another really important thing to consider when you're playing is to simply cover yourself frequently. You know, be looking around. It's generally stupid to walk across large unexposed, not unexposed, but large exposed areas of a map without, you know, looking left or right, or checking your back, or making sure that there's a piece of cover behind you so that someone can't pop out and kill you, which is something that I do a lot, especially in Scrapyard. There's a lot of areas where you're forced to run across a very, very exposed part of the map in order to get to the HQ from your spawn point, and that's something that I do a lot. And I do it, you know, I'm not very cautious in that respect. I just go straight across, which is really stupid of me to do, and I'm going to stop doing it now after watching this gameplay, or hopefully I'm going to try to stop doing it. But like I was saying, always be sure to cover yourself, and if you can, avoid going through those exposed areas, which again I think has to do with patience. A lot of people aren't patient enough to take the long way around the map and get to the HQ. You know, the difference between taking the long way and the short way in most cases is under around the nature of maybe 20 seconds or under that. So it's really not a whole lot more time that you have to spend to get to where you need to go, but you'll get there a lot safer. And you know, if you die, you're gonna have to wait 5 seconds, and you're gonna be of no use to your team in those 5 seconds. So It really does help to take the long way around, as long as it means taking the more protected area, or the more protected way to the HQ. Which again has a lot to do with flanking. Lately I've been playing with Exile Zapdos a lot, and I'm not doing this to give a shout out, but he tends to flank a lot, and it's something that really helps him out. But anyway, that's today's game, and I'll see you guys later. Another commentary is following this up soon. Peace.